beautiful night at Fenway. The Red Sox can sweep the Toronto Blue Jays one night after becoming the first Red Sox team in 72 years to reach 100 wins in a season. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the ballpark. Dave O'Brien alongside the Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley, Jemai Webster in just a couple of moments. And indeed, for the first time since Ted Williams returned from the Second World War, fans are flocking into Fenway to watch a 100-win season. It's been remarkable. It's been business as usual, though, for the Red Sox. Eduardo Rodriguez on a bump tonight.
You know, we got so excited about Eduardo against the White Sox. When he came back after 6 weeks being out, he struck out 12 guys in 5 2/3 innings. He was awesome. Then he had stiffer competition when the Astros came to town, and they knocked him around a little bit, a couple of home runs, and he didn't have his secondary stuff. But you see him against Toronto, who's in town tonight. He's won 2 games. He's thrown the ball very well against them, so you expect him to have a good game tonight. And, you know, for looking forward with Eduardo, where's he going to fit? Where's he going to fit in this playoff situation? Is he going to be in the bullpen? Is he going to have a chance to start? And it all matter of whether he pitches well out of the, you know, for starting from here on out. The next 3 starts can go a long ways in finding out what he's going to do in the playoffs.
We know this. He's tough to hit under any circumstances. Just a 191 batting average against him. Red Sox go for another victory over Toronto, and the celebrations have been commonplace here recently. Last night, it was the 100th win of the season. A couple of nights ago, the Red Sox pinning down that playoff berth. We'll see what is in store tonight. Game 3 with Toronto. Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Amico Home Life and Auto Insurance that always puts you first. The all-new 3-row Subaru Ascent featuring all-wheel drive. And by William Ravis Real Estate, the official real estate company of the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox go for 3 straight over Toronto. Great to have you with us tonight here from Fenway Park. Time to toss it down to Jemai Webster. Talking about the questions at this time of the year when you have a 10-game lead. A lot of those are roster questions, Jemai.
That's absolutely right, Dave. When Christian Vasquez came off the disabled list, it's been a bit of a juggling act for Alex Cora and company to find ample time for Blake Swihart and Sandy Leon at catcher. Cora was asked about the possibility of carrying 3 catchers on the postseason roster. He says that's not an idea that's foreign to him.
We did last year in Houston. We had 3. All depends where we at and what we need. All depends who we play. Probably, you know, that wildcard game is a lot different roster-wise. You know, obviously the division series is another roster. Probably we'll see where we at and we go from there. So we'll mix it up. We want everybody to catch everybody before the season is over. We don't know when we're gonna start doing this, but we have to do it. I feel that they cut those guys before, but I think it'll be important for them to catch them too.
Something to keep an eye on as the regular season comes to a close. Got two catchers in the lineup tonight, as Blake Swihart will be the designated hitter and Christian Vasquez will be the backstop. Vasquez, of course, catching Eduardo Rodriguez, who is making his 22nd start of the season. The team has won 17 times when he started. The Sox go for 101. Obi and Eck with the call right after this.
Union. What can DCU save you? Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. KM, together we grill. Lexus and the Lexus Strikes Out Hunger program. Your local New England Ford dealers. And by Sullivan Tire and Complete Auto Service. Just a picture-perfect night for a ball game. Red Sox and Toronto. Sox bidding for the 3-game sweep and trying to make it 4 consecutive wins. Now at a record of 146. Eduardo Rodriguez at 12-4. Taken to the hill. Here's a look at the Blue Jay lineup he'll do battle with tonight. Lourdes Gurriel will lead it off at short. Yangervis Solarte at second. Justin Smoke at first. Kendrys Morales, their DH, followed by Randall Grichuk in right. Kevin Pillar in center. Teoscar Hernandez in left. Aldamas Diaz at third. And Reese McGuire doing the catching. Against the Red Sox starter, presented by New England Audi dealers. Rodriguez 2-0 against Toronto this season with a small ERA of 2.41.
Yeah, the Red Sox defense tonight is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They're second in the American League in defense. Around the infield, third to first. Eduardo Nunez at third. Xander Bogaerts at short. Ian Kinsler at second. Mitch Moreland at first. Out in the outfield, left to right. Andrew Benintendi, Jackie Bradley Jr., J.D. Martinez tonight in right field. Christian Vasquez catching. Eduardo Rodriguez.
Here are your umpires, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Chris Siegel behind the plate. Alfonso Marquez is the crew chief. He's at first. Jim Wolf at second. DJ Rayburn at third. We're available as telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit compara2toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV. As mentioned, a beautiful night. 70 degrees, partly cloudy skies. We're going to see a lot of stars tonight as the Red Sox wrap up the season series here against Toronto. They are 14-4 against the Blue Jays. Sox have gone 14-2 against Baltimore. Still 3 more left with the Birds. 11-8 against Tampa Bay and 8-5 against the Yankees with 6 to play against New York. Gurriel to settle in. We're ready for the first pitch. Strike one, and we are underway with Solarte on deck.
Right away, I can't help but see Eduardo Rodriguez on the opposite side of the rubber compared to what David Price was last night. You see him on the third base side. A lot of room for that arm side fastball changeup away.
Price with another superb outing last night, 7 innings.
Yeah, what stood out for you? To me, it was the changeup. Huh?
I think the changeup is absolutely filthy.
Yes.
And it's an out pitch, and he can throw it to anybody. And it's a deadly pitch. That's a swing and a miss.
Yeah, backdoor slider. That's a beautiful thing. But, you know, David Price, he's just been as good as he's ever been, really. He's on a roll. I mean, you get that swing and miss from your changeup, that tells you everything. Usually you get a little weak ground ball. Sometimes you'd like a weak ground ball. One pitch out.
That's going to be into strike 3. Pinned him to the plate. Gurriel down admiring that for out number 1.
Oh, nicely done right out of the gate. After a backdoor slider, he throws him across seamer, gets a lot of the plate inside, and we've got our first pair of shoes.
One man out. Solarte hitting .236 with 17 home runs. Now Rodriguez has tossed a couple of his best games all season long against Toronto. He had one back on May 30. He got the win. He went 6 2/3, sending Solarte down on his knees, allowing only 3 hits. He struck out 7. In fact, his 2 longest starts of the season have been against the Blue Jays, both of them 6 2/3.
And they used to give him trouble earlier in his career. I remember him getting really knocked around big time. So I thought they had his pitches back in the days when they had his pitches, you remember?
Floater into left. There's Benintendi to move on that. Out number 2.
Well, you see the difference I was talking about. Look at that. I mean, you can't get any different than this from both sides of the rubber. And you know that Price likes to come in on right-handers, right? He's known for that. And the same is with Eddie. I mean, now I don't know what the philosophy is with him, but that fastball right there plays just as well. Maybe it creates more of an angle there for Price. Wherever you're comfortable.
Smoke at .246 with 24 home runs. He's driven in 74. Very solid year. Kind of lost in the shuffle because the Blue Jays are 65 and 80 and 34.5 behind the Red Sox. But he's had a very solid year. Morales on deck.
Boy, he's working it right out from the get-go. Last time out, because he's coming off that game, he struck out 12 guys. He came out in the first inning throwing gas. He did, and then he kind of didn't find it. He didn't have his secondary stuff, and right away we've seen it.
Well, I thought Houston made some great adjustments on him after he blew through that first inning, didn't
Right, they did, and he hung a slider to Maldonado, hit a solo bomb on him, gave up a couple home runs, but they hit him hard. And he walked a couple. He just wasn't himself. And now he's trying to find his way, throwing everything, kitchen sink piece in the first inning.
Working with Christian Vasquez, the 2-1.
Yes.
That's a strike. And you're so right about Eduardo Rodriguez and the role he may play in October for the Red Sox with their eyes on a World Series, and just whether it's going to be in the rotation, is it going to be in the bullpen, how much is he going to pitch?
You know, after that start against the White Sox, you're thinking, my goodness, we cannot have this guy in this rotation. In the starting rotation. After that start,
he was sensational.
And then he gets knocked around with Houston. You're saying, wait a minute, who is this guy? What is he? We got to find out tonight a little bit.
3-2 knock foul. Well, good time for the Red Sox to experiment with what has become a 10-game lead over the Yankees. The magic number to clinch the division is 7.
Look at that Hunter just sitting there. It's a bean. It's a C note. It's a yard.
It's a lot of wins.
Yes, it's a lot.
You know, it was a foregone conclusion for so long, but when you see it up there on the standings, it's something else. Cut on and missed. He struck him out. Good start for Eduardo Rodriguez with a pair of strikeouts. TORAT.com. A night off for Mookie Betts. Andrew Benintendi leads it off. Then it's Kinsler, Moreland, and Martinez. Xander Bogaerts at short, batting fifth. Blake Swihart is the DH tonight, followed by Eduardo Nunez, Christian Vasquez, and Jackie Bradley. And who's the right-hander?
Sam Gaviglio.
3-8, a 5.25 ERA. Nicely done, by the way.
Thank you.
Right-hander's third start of the season against the Red Sox. 1-1, a 3.95 ERA. First pitch swinging and a ground ball right to Solarte. Benintendi is retired, 4-3.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Blue Jays defense tonight. They're 12th in the American League in defense. Around the infield, third to first. Diaz at third. Gurriel Jr. at short. Solarte at second. Justin Smoke at first. Teoscar Hernandez in left. Kevin Pillar in center. Randall Critchett out in right field. Reese McGuire catching Sam Gaviglio.
Ian Kinsler next, 249 with 14 home runs. Did not play in last night's 1-0 victory. Sox have not had many of those. Haven't had to with the offense they've had all season long. Red Sox leading the majors in runs per game, batting average, on base percentage, slugging percentage, OPS, doubles, and extra base hits.
Boy, you see Gaviglio early on. He doesn't throw hard. 88 you see there, a little sinkage. You know, sinker, slider, curveball, changeup. Nothing special. Red Sox has seen a lot of them. What is this, his fourth appearance?
Yeah, including the bullpen. Popped up by Kinsler. Smoke into short right. 2 up, 2 down. Time now for what's brewing in Boston, presented by Sam Adams, the official beer of the Boston Red Sox. Alex Cora became just the second Red Sox manager to lead them to 100+ wins in his first year, joining Jake Stahl, who in 1912 took the Red Sox to 105 wins. That is the franchise record. Mitch Moreland, 250 with 15 home runs. Gaviglio's last start, he lost to Cleveland 9-4. He did not pitch all that well, obviously. 4 1/3, 6 hits, gave up 5 runs.
He's given up 19 jacks in 104 innings, so he could leave the ball yard off his fastball. You see that change, a pretty good spot for it. Not a big gap though with his fastball and changeup, 4 or 5 miles an hour.
You won't walk many, so you know as a hitter you're going to get a strike to hit. He gives up a lot of hits, 118 and 104 and 2/3 innings. 0-2.
You don't see a lot of right-handers like that nowadays. Not really have that ultra fastball, right? Everything we see is at least 92, 93.
Moreland 1 for 2 off him. Well, Red Sox will take on a National League opponent for the last time coming up over the weekend when the New York Mets are in town. We're going to see some pitching.
We're going to see some gas is what you're going to see. You're talking about Syndergaard, what, tomorrow night, and DeGrom on Sunday. Oh, my goodness.
DeGrom against Sale on Sunday. Chris Sale to go 3 innings. That's in there, strike 3. Side retired as the Red Sox go in order. Top of the second inning, no score at Fenway. Morales, Grichuk, Pilar, the hitters up against Erod. As that one is fly down the right field line. Martinez giving chase, is going to drop in, take a bounce for a double. So it'll be automatic 2 bases for Kendrys Morales onto the warning track and into the stands.
That's the only way he's going to get a double if it bounces into the seats right there, huh? He slices the slider down the right field line and just places it perfectly, in front of J.D. Martinez, and it bounces once and goes right into the stands. Look at the kick it took.
First hit of the ball game for either side will bring up Grichuk, 244 with 21 home runs. But those shiners are still there. He's a guy who looked like he got into a full-scale brawl. He didn't. It was an unkind collision with a metal chair in foul territory in the game against Cleveland a few games ago, and the security guard went running.
The security guard must feel bad about that, huh? He couldn't get out of the way fast enough.
Could not, and Grichuk went head first into it and really got beat up pretty good. They thought he might have suffered a concussion. He didn't. Look at that play on Sunday.
This is a tough play for the guy with the chair. Look at, oh my goodness. He's backpedaling, not knowing who's coming.
That poor guy was just trying to do his job, just trying to get out of the way. Never saw Grichuk.
You got to be ready to bounce around, man.
Yeah, you
got
do.
that thing there. Get out of Dodge.
He was able to get right back into the lineup game 1 in this series.
She's going to take that bucket and bolt is what happens. Anybody gets in your way.
Grichuk, a former St. Louis Cardinal, 1 for 7 in his career against Rodriguez. And a strike at 92.
Reminded me last night when Grichuk came up, and I was thinking, God, the talent that the Cardinals have, given away like 3 outfielders the last year, just in the last year. Piscotty, Pham.
Cardinals 3.5 games out, by the way, behind the Cubs and Milwaukee. Milwaukee just put a big time hurt on the Cubs. They're only a game back in that division. Swung on and missed. He struck him out with a slider.
We've seen a lot of those last time. Sliders he takes a lot off of. This is not something he throws all the time, but it's a good spot. 83 miles an hour, down and in, out of the strike zone. Grichuk got fooled. That's a funny swing by him, one-handed. Down and in.
Amica Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, and life insurance. That'll bring up Pilar, center fielder. He's had another excellent defensive season. 247 with 12 home runs at the plate.
That first night in, that was Pierce that hit the triple off the center field fence, and Pilar went up against the fence and sort of just melted down the fence and never got up, man. Then he walked his position. I thought he was hurt originally, but he was okay.
A big hit. This one fly to center field routinely for Jackie Bradley. Runner back to second. And will stay right there. Morales not going anywhere. And 2 down.
Yeah, tune in tonight to NESN's news coverage to get the latest on week 2 of the NFL season and the Patriots' upcoming trip to Jacksonville. NESN's coverage of the NFL regular season is brought to you by Cross Insurance, where security meets strength.
Teoscar Hernandez, the left fielder, 240, 20 home runs for the season. We're talking about the Mets coming in for the weekend. There was an emotional press conference today, and the Mets third baseman David Wright said he plans to play on September 29th and then end his career. 7-time All-Star.
Well, you've seen that coming for quite a while now. Was it the back?
Yes, terrible back problem. Base hit into left field. Morales to third and pulling up right there as the throw comes into the plate.
Thank goodness that was Morales, huh? Seems like he's come up a lot the last couple days. The man that runs
what did
at
you
the
say?
Speed of stink.
Speed of stink, you
and
said.
Thank goodness he's there. It's hard to score in Fenway anyway when on a base hit to left field, so you never know, but you know he's not going to score. Don't even attempt it. The clogger is what he is.
So a couple of men on for Diaz at 257. He's hit 17 home runs. Yeah, Wright said physically and the way I feel right now, from everything the doctors have told me, there's not going to be any improvement. So I don't see playing beyond September as a possibility. He's under contract through 2020 and he's owed $27 million. A chopper to Nunez. He'll handle that from the grass. He'll get him. And Rodriguez pitches out of difficulty. 2 men stranded. It's by Forbes. JD Martinez, #1 in the majors in RBI, slugging percentage, and total bases. 331 total bases. That's a career high for him as well. No scores, second inning. Bogart's on deck, and then Blake Swihart. JD and Wright tonight. And Swihart, the designated hitter. What do you think about the idea the Red Sox might carry 3 catchers into postseason play?
I think they have to. I really do. The fact is that you have to pinch hit. I don't know if it was last night, night before, first and third, you had Sandy Leon up. You've got to pinch hit for him. Game on the line. To me, it's a no-brainer. I think you've got to have 3 catchers.
Right now, he's
at least you have some versatility with Swihart.
Well, yeah, the guy can also steal you a base,
which is unheard of for a catcher, but he can run now.
Fouled at the dish.
Hit that twice. You know you need an extra pitcher too. That's the problem. You want to go with the extra pitcher. Be interesting. We'll be talking about that for the next 2 weeks.
No doubt. 1-2 coming. Makeup of the bullpen could be downright fascinating. Looking for one of these catchers to catch fire with the bat. Vasquez at 212 at the moment. And
it's kind of tough for Vasquez. Both Swihart and Vasquez. You know, Sandy Leon getting most of the playing time. Uh-oh.
Deep drive right field. Grichuk taking off. He's turning around and kissed that one goodbye. There's 41 for JD Martinez to put the Red Sox on the board.
Oh, you stay away. You're going to get hurt. Number 41 was a slider down and away. Hit it in the bullpen. What new? That's what he does in Fenway Park. A little lift, and that ball is bridged. A little slider down and away. Not so much down. He goes and gets it. Keeps his head down. Once he gets that ball in the air, he drives it. And you just expect this ball to be in the bullpen. You just do. And it is. Number 41. Over the bullpen.
So he is tied for the major league lead again with Davis of Oakland. Far and away the RBI leader. Speedway donating $500 to Boston Children's Hospital for every Red Sox homer. Speedway proud to be your choice for value and convenience and the largest convenience store contributor to Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So the Sox jump out in front, fouled away by Xander Bogaerts, who checks in at 289 and 21 home runs. Closing in on Dick Stewart.
And you just stay away from him. He never show him inside. He's going to hurt you.
High chop. Diaz handles that by the bag. And holding the bag at first base is Smoke for the out. Tail of the tape on the home run, 397 feet. And Swihart will be next. You talked about the home run issues by Gaviglio. Been a problem for him. Blake Swihart 228. He's homered one time. And Gaviglio, true to form, throwing a lot of strikes.
To me, it's assortment of salad. It really is. I mean, this day and age.
Sinker, slider, fastball, curve, and changeup.
Unheard of.
And won't get it to 90 very often.
Normally, you're left-handed featuring that.
2-0.
When you're throwing 2-0 changeups, tells you everything.
And 3-0 in there at 87. Red Sox trying to go 15-4 against Toronto this season. That would be a franchise record against them. And that's ball 4. So Swihart is on. Let's get on to Jemai.
Well, Dave, Blake Swihart, the designated hitter for the Red Sox tonight. In 35 games since June 26, he's hitting nearly 300. I talked with hitting coach Tim Hires, who told me Blake has been really clutch for us. He says that he's fearless at the plate, and when he goes up there with body control and he has pitch selection in mind, he finds his success. And he was looking for him to repeat that tonight as he looks to do something with the bat, maybe next time up.
Well, he's on with ball 4 here in front of Eduardo Nunez. 261, 10 home runs for Nunez. And a little 3-game hitting streak for Eduardo.
I mean, this is a different look for this club. You know, you get so used to facing guys throwing the ball hard.
Toward third, but a foul ball by Nunez. Vasquez would be next. You talk about the year that J.D. Martinez is having, 41 homers now, 122 runs batted in. The year that Mookie Betts is having, and the year that Alex Bregman is having for Houston. And it appears to be, feels like a 3-horse race for the MVP, but a great race.
Oh yeah, you saw where Bregman got his 50th double, 50 doubles, 30 bombs. For that guy, he's not a big guy. They said he was 6 foot. I could have swore when he was here the other night. He's 6 foot.
That's what they say.
I don't know.
I think he's 5'10".
I think he wants to be 6 foot.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's all right.
We can all wish.
Yeah. I wish I was 6'5".
Runner at first and one down. Red Sox up 1-0. Yeah, a lot of people are commenting on this, that it's one of the better, maybe the best MVP races in many years in baseball.
And Trout's in that race too. I mean, come on,
Well,
he's
sure
always in that race.
That's a
he
given.
won't get it, but
Hammer foul.
you completely forget about Trout. Yeah, I do. And he's all up there, especially OPS. The guy's ridiculous. His on base this year is through the roof, and he just hasn't driven in any runs. I think he's got 30 home runs or more with, not even 70 RBIs. I mean, it's weird.
He does 33 home runs. He's hitting .315.
I bet he doesn't have 75 RBIs.
But he's among the league leaders in stolen bases, total bases. Number 1 in on-base percent.
Oh.
Runner goes up the middle. Nice stop. Out at second. Off target. Will he get back? He will not. And Nunez is going to be safe as he goes sprawling beyond the bag. Swihart is out at second.
Oh my goodness! Careful.
Let's see if Eduardo is okay on his feet. Solarte flinging that one off target, taking the first baseman Smoke away from the bag.
This is branch work to begin with. To have Solarte that close to the bag almost turns a double play. That was funky. What is that? He was just in between. It was ugly. I don't know what happened. Stutter step. He thought it was a double play, I think. And then when he saw him off the bag, he had to change lanes somehow, and it just got all fouled up. Just wasn't pretty. It was just ugh.
He'll hang in.
He was in between. You got to smile a little bit because it was kind of a little embarrassing. I mean, it was awkward. It was awkward. Okay, that sounds better.
A guy coming back from knee problems, so he certainly doesn't need to be messing with that so close to playoff time. He'll take his base, and Vasquez the batter here with 2 down. Sox up 1-0 on a JD Martinez home run.
I mean, you got to make that double play, don't you? I mean, he made this. He leapt up and threw it to first base, just an errant throw. But I mean, I thought that was a double play ball when he first hit it.
One-0 to Vasquez as he chops it foul. Another look at that play at first base.
Ball's hit hard. One hop to Solarte, and he was on the move now. I didn't even know how to explain that.
Just looked like a bad landing.
I'd like to know what he was thinking, sort of what went through his head the last.
If I were to guess, I'd say he looked up, he saw Solarte about to dart back to the bag, and maybe he didn't say a clean lane to get through the base. And I think he started to apply the brakes.
Yes.
And caught the foot.
You couldn't help but think that's going to be a double play if he throws it anywhere in the vicinity of Smoke.
Sure.
Right?
I think he was a little surprised that Smoke was coming from the angle he was after the poor throw. Two and one on Vasquez. Red Sox with a 1-0 advantage. Christian hitting .212, 3 home runs. They'll wrap that one right to Gurriel. On to Solarte for 1 to retire the side. But JD Martinez hammers number 41, nearly 400 feet. And the Red Sox are taking a 1-0 lead against Toronto. team, and in game number 147, the Red Sox would beat Tampa Bay 7-3. Mike Karp with a pinch hit 10th inning grand slam to lead the Red Sox to that win.
I remember that. I do. Off of Hernandez, that big tall guy that changed his name. Remember that? You know who I'm talking about? He played for Cleveland, and then
yes,
that's who he hit it off of. I should know how to finish this off, but that's the guy.
I remember the moment very vividly. Mike Karp, and I remember thinking, well, if you're going to win a championship, everybody helps.
Oh, he smoked that ball.
He really did.
Because it's hard to go deep straight away in Tampa.
Koji got the win. Here's Reese McGuire, the young catcher. Was called up from the minor leagues on the 6th of September. Made his major league debut that night. Went 1-for-4 against Cleveland. Former first-round draft choice of the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is certainly tryout season for Toronto. Right now the manager is John Gibbons. He's a really good baseball man, but
he's had that job a couple of times. He got fired once before, right?
That's correct. And he's guided them to some outstanding seasons, but there's been a lot of speculation about whether he's going to continue. It seems that is not the case. Recent reports indicate that they're about 99% sure he won't return, and he's pretty sure. He said, I'm not so sure I want to go through a rebuilding process.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I thought they were good enough to win a couple of years ago, the year they had Price.
Weekly hit ground ball gathered up by Nunez. One man out. Time for Comforts of Home, brought to you by Bernie and Phil's, the top at-home winning percentage among major league teams. Red Sox at just about 72%. And right now, get the furniture you want with 0 interest for up to 60 months and no minimum purchase required. Gurriel struck out looking in the first inning. That's how the ball game got underway. Yankees, by the way, are idle tonight. And the Mets are in next. That one smoked into center field and down for a base hit. Gurriel hits it sharply. He's on with one down.
Good looking young player. Like him a lot. See this fastball cross seamer down. He goes down there and hits a bullet. Too bad that ball didn't stay in the air long enough for Bradley to come run underneath it, but he hit it solid.
He's been on the DL a couple of times, including for a concussion this season, but when healthy, he's been one of the more productive hitters. He's on in front of Solarte, who's 0 for 1 with a fly to left. Out in front of the plate, Rodriguez will look at first, fire there, and get the certain out. Down to second is Gurriel with 2 away.
Yeah, Tuesday, September 25th is Pedro Martinez bobblehead night at Fenway Park. The first 10,000 fans in attendance will receive a duct tape Pedro bobble presented by Old Dominion Freight Line. For more info, visit redsox.com/promos. That's that classic thing Pedro taped up to that pole down there, wasn't it? His mouth, his body, everything.
One of the funnier moments you're going to see.
Stop him from chirping or whatever it was, right?
I don't think it worked.
No.
Kept on chirping. Smoke is 0 for 1. He struck out first inning. So far 3 hits against Rodriguez, and that'll be a ball.
Eddie looks like he's just playing catch. He really does. That first outing, he was bringing it. I've never seen him throw so good. Now he's just playing catch.
Runner at second in Gurriel, and up the middle and through for a base hit. That's going to bring in a run. Ground to score Gurriel, and the RBI from Smoke, his 75th, and that ties it up here in the 3rd inning.
That's a cutter that got too much plate. Really, it didn't bite. See, it's cutting all right, but not, just not late. It's just right there. I mean, he didn't crush it, but Nicely placed ground ball up the middle, and they score this time from second base because Gurriel can run. I don't think Morales would have scored on that either, to be honest with you.
That's 4 hits now for Toronto, and brings up Morales, who doubled his first time up down the right field line. Took a bounce on the warning track and kicked into the stands for 2 bases. Miss inside. Morales taking on Eduardo Rodriguez. Brought to you by AARP. In his career against Erod, 320 with a home run. Red Sox stack a shift on the left side of 3 men against the switch hitter.
He's got that buggy whip, doesn't he? He gets that thing through the zone. Both ways, right-handed and left. Dead pull. Exactly right. That's why it's funny. Hit that ball down the other way. That double.
Yeah, that surprised everybody.
Yeah, very.
2 out.
If there's a guy to be careful with, it would be this guy in the lineup.
You'd say more than Smoke?
Both of them just as well. When you got Richard on deck, you already punched him out once, and he didn't look very good doing it.
Well, Rodriguez has fallen behind here, 3-1. Smoke with the RBI single. In fact, Smoke has hit a home run in every series against the Red Sox so far this season, except for this series.
Uh-oh. Perfectly placed fastball right there. 3-1. That's gutsy. You want to leave it out over.
Runner taken off on the 3-2 and a high bounder. Xander Bogaerts plenty of time to fire on and retire the side, but Toronto, on the strength of a couple of hits, they tie it up 1-1.
Nice crisp shirt.
He's very California.
Yes.
Tied up 1-1 as we take it to the bottom half of the 3rd inning on a gorgeous night at Fenway Park, and happy to have Alex Spear with us. This one down the line by Jackie Bradley to the corner, and that ball is off the monster. He is easily into second, as it rolls down the line toward home plate, but he'll be content with 2 bases and a nice start to the 3rd inning.
Oh, you gotta love Fenway Park, huh? Seriously. Almost a triple. You don't see that very often in Fenway Park, but kind of just flips this ball in the air. Only in Fenway. This ball barely catches the wall. It really does. Scrapes it. And he's too close to the wall. This ball is going to roll all the way to 3rd base if he doesn't run it down. Plays right in front of Jackie. He'll hold up at 2nd.
Fenway is not a great home run hitter's park. It is an incredible doubles park, especially for lefties. There's a reason why so many left-handed hitters have been batting champions here, because you can just stay back, wait on pitches, and then drive them to the opposite field, and you're rewarded for it almost every time.
Jackie Bradley with his 29th double brings up Benintendi, who is 0 for 1. Alex, great to see you. I know you're writing about the Red Sox getting to 100 wins and the historical perspective, exactly what that means when a club wins 100.
It is extraordinary when you think about it. That, I mean, we had gone, basically people's baseball lifetimes had passed before there being since there was 100 wins.
They'll advance the runner. Gurriel will gun on to get him.
72 years is a longer time than most franchises had waited. Of the original 16 teams, the Red Sox had been in the 3rd longest drought. I think the White Sox had last won 100 in 1917, the Pirates in 1909. Otherwise, other teams have won 100, but you know, there's a reason why it's so infrequent. It requires a team that's incredibly well-rounded, that doesn't have any glaring deficiency that's going to send them spiraling into a slump. You have to have depth. You have to have superstar caliber talent at the top. And you have to be remarkably consistent, which is really hard to do.
1 out, Kinsler the batter with Jackie Bradley at 3rd.
You got to beat the brains out of the teams that you're supposed to beat your brains out.
That
right?
certainly helps. That certainly helps. And some kind of lopsided distributions of talent in the league also help. You saw a lot of 100-win teams around the time that there was expansion, for instance. Both in 61 and 69, there were some of the great wins totals in history. 98 Yankees were a team that won 114 in a year of expansion, and the Mariners won their 116 a few years later. You guys did it in Oakland, you know, without any of those advantages, though. You just beat up everyone.
I think we didn't have a real strong division. I'd say.
Fair.
There's a fly ball into left field. Looks like it's plenty deep enough. Hernandez has got it. Jackie Bradley with a tag and in to score. And the Red Sox retake the lead on the Kinsler RBI.
A double, get him over, get him in, huh? A little baseball for you.
I guess the $1,000,000 question is, in the end, what does it mean for October? And that's what everybody wants to know the answer to.
I would say that historically there are no guarantees associated with it. Obviously, that 2001 Mariners team is the ultimate demonstration of that notion, since they did win the 116 and then got knocked out in the ALCS. You look at the historical odds of 100 wins teams and whether or not they actually did win the World Series. It's slightly better than the other playoff teams. Maybe about a 30% improvement in chances, but it's not overwhelming in a way that says there are any guarantees.
When the Red Sox have done it in the past, getting to the World Series, I mean, that's happened.
But of course, that was a time when if you won 100 games, you were in the World Series basically automatically, right? There were no additional layers of the postseason to get through. I think people underappreciate how much the game has fundamentally changed with those 3 rounds of playoffs. It is incredible how hard it is to survive a full month of postseason baseball with every pitch, you know, with the season seemingly on the line in every pitch. I honestly am amazed that that bullpens survive what we're seeing in those 3 rounds now.
Mitch Moreland 0 for 1. He struck out. Martinez on deck. He's belted a home run tonight, number 41. And the 1-1 will land high.
It's interesting that you noted how the Red Sox manufactured this run. John Gibbons, the Blue Jays manager, has been talking a fair amount in the pre-games this series about how the art of getting runners over, how the art of situational hitting truly has been lost. And you hear managers across the game kind of bemoaning the fact that that ability to have contact in critical situations is declining.
That's ripped into right field for a base hit.
But you wonder if that would change, you know, in the playoffs. You know, you do whatever you can to get a run. It's different baseball. It just is. And they're not going to start bunting in the the playoffs anytime soon, but different baseball. You're going to try to scratch that run if you can.
Especially given that they're going to the bullpen so early in postseason games that you really are starting to play for, in many instances, you are playing for that 1 run even early in games. You'll see infields coming in early. It's interesting. The dynamics do change. Although last year's Dodgers were a team that really didn't seem to change its approach. a lot at the end. They were still living and dying by the long ball. Came really close, got to Game 7, but ultimately they weren't able to get past the Astros, who are a better contact hitting team.
You really can't just flip your whole style and your managerial approach. That one torn into. That'll land in left field for a base hit. Moreland up to second base, and another hit for J.D. Martinez, who is 2 for 2 tonight.
Yeah, there has to be a degree of trust in what the players have done over the course of the 162. And especially this Red Sox team, I think, is going to be a really interesting one because they do so much to study the opponents. J.D. Martinez is a great example of that, a guy who's constantly thinking about what the opposing pitcher is trying to do to him, what locations he's trying to attack, what kind of game plan they're using. Betts, Martinez, Bogaerts, they have been incredibly difficult to retire second time through the order, third time through the order. And I think as they're seeing relievers over and over in a short series, that also works to the Red Sox favor.
Now Pete Walker out, activity in their bullpen. Mark Leiter Jr., the right-hander, now loosening up as Gaviglio's getting touched up in this inning for a double and a pair of singles. He allowed a home run to Martinez last inning, and the Red Sox are in front 2-1 as we chat with Alex Spear of the Boston Globe. And an RBI opportunity here for Xander Bogaerts, who's inching closer and closer to a 100 RBI campaign.
It's been a remarkable season for him, and this is probably the season in his career that's been the closest to what he was projected to be when coming up through the minors. That combination of the ability to hit something close to 300. I believe he's leading all American League shortstops in OBP, and at the same time, it's not hollow OBP. He is hitting the ball and driving it.
And I think he's played a great defensive shortstop all year long. He really has. I think that gets overlooked.
It's been certainly more consistent than it's ever been throughout his career. The throws have been on target, consistent.
In there for a strike. You know, defensively, he makes the plays he's supposed to make.
I think that's exactly right, and the Red Sox are kind of thrilled with that. Advanced metrics don't show him, aren't very favorable to him. He's being compared to guys like Lindor, who seemingly can cover from the right field line to the left field line. But nonetheless, the Red Sox, from their own evaluations, think he's been a stabilizing element in the infield, which hasn't always been stable throughout the year. And he's been making, his confidence has been high. His feel for the timing of the game has been very good this year. They feel like he's taken a clear step forward this year.
He's a star, man. This guy is a star. He's right where we projected him to be, right? He had sort of a hiccup. I think that had a lot to do with being hurt.
Absolutely.
Right? There's no doubt about it.
You see those balls that he's driving, and he wasn't able to turn over his wrist last year on his top hand to drive the ball.
Remember early in the season when he suffered that ankle injury, when he went sliding to the dugout step in the visiting dugout. And I remember listening to a lot of radio shows. It was like, oh my God, he's not coming back. He's going to be out for months as a result of this thing. Everybody got that wrong, because he bounced back very quickly from that. And it might be he's an extraordinary healer, but he also came back from another hand injury very quickly as well. So he's not let that stuff interrupt him this year.
That was the big one to me, because that hit him almost exactly at the same place where he got hit last year in Tampa by that Faria pitch. And he was really worried about it on the night that it happened.
He reacted. Remember how mad he was? Like he thought it was, I don't know, looked like he thought the worst.
He thought that deja vu was happening, because that ruined his season offensively last year. But he took a little bit of extra time, maybe an extra day or two this year, and believes that really helped him.
Hot shot off the glove of Diaz. It skips past the shortstop as well, and the bases are going to be loaded here. Diaz cannot handle the chance at third, and they're all filled up.
Not an easy play, but you think he's going to pick this ball. Ball sharply hit. One hop does not come up with the pick. It was a short hop. This isn't the greatest defensive team in the world either, right? Especially Diaz, shortstop, when he was with St. Louis, doesn't make the pick. They should have turned a double play an inning ago, so they're in trouble here. Got to make them pay.
They've been consistently bad defensively in all of their Fenway games this year, and that's something that they have certainly lamented. The coaching staff in Toronto is very aware.
They gave that a hit too. What do you think?
When it's hit hard, even if it's right at a guy, if it's on a backhand, then they usually give it. But it's a play you have to make if you're a solid defensive third baseman.
So 3 consecutive singles for the Red Sox. Moreland, Martinez, and Bogaerts to load him up for Blake Swihart, who walked in the second. Red Sox ahead 2-1, looking for more in the third. And he'll lay off 1 ball and 1 strike. Career with the bases loaded, 286. And trips, as Remdog loves to say. Here's the 1-1. Gently hit. Diaz will take it to the bag, and that will retire the side. Alex, thanks so much for joining us.
Good to see you guys.
Alex Beard, 2-1, Red Sox in front. Top of the 4th, Red Sox in the lead 2-1, looking to sweep the Toronto Blue Jays here tonight and get to 101 wins. Randall Grichuk leading it off. He whiffed in the 2nd inning, so he's 0 for 1.
You know, Grichuk started so bad this year, they sent him to AAA, didn't they? Came over in a trade with St. Louis, had high hopes for him. He came back from AAA and started lighting it up. He got 21 bombs on the year.
And since the All-Star break, he's 5th in the American League in extra base hits. He's got a single here past the Diamond Nunez. So he leads off with a base hit. This outsider timeout presented by LL Bean. From the ballpark to your local park, the outside is always better. Together, LL Bean, be an outsider. So a man on for Kevin Pillar, who has flied to center 0 for 1. Leads their ball club with 37 doubles. So he's been finding the gaps. Routinely one of the best center fielders in the American League year after year. Defensively,
he can run a little bit. He's the only guy that steals bases really in this lineup. I think he's got 14 bags. Team that doesn't run.
On the infield, not hard hit. Nunez to first, guns it and gets him by a quarter step. Down to second is Grichuk. Time now for our social drive back to the studio. Good evening, Casey.
Good evening. Now, this isn't a first, and it probably won't be a last or the last time we see this. Tell me how this sits with you guys. Following the Braves 2-1 win over the Giants yesterday, a fan handed their child to Braves infielder Charlie Culberson and asked him to sign the baby. I mean, can't you just sign the baby's hat, something else?
This is becoming a new thing. Sign the baby.
What is that?
Where do you sign a baby?
Isn't that kind of ridiculous?
How many babies have you signed?
I've never signed a baby.
Well, you got to start now.
Be handing me your baby now.
Here's my baby. Teoscar Hernandez with a runner at second. That one fouled away. He's 1 for 1 with a base hit.
How do you turn down somebody's baby, though, right?
Well, you can't.
You can't.
And first of all, it's a very rude thing to do.
Yeah, I know. Never mind.
Well, what do you do? Do you sign the forehead?
Well, you hope they have a cap on or something, right?
Adorable baby. Grichuk at second with 1 gone. Two runs on 5 hits for the Red Sox, a run on 5 hits for Toronto. Blue Jays are getting their hits, but only 1 run so far, but they have a man in scoring position. And a high fly ball into left center field. Jackie Bradley racing back. Benintendi as well. They're both there, and Benintendi makes the catch. Back to second base is Grichuk.
Well, I'm thinking that ball's off the wall the whole way, and then it turns out that who's going to catch this thing? And luckily, Jackie backed off at the last second. This ball's in the air forever. You're just so thankful it didn't hit the wall. But they both went up for it. Look at this. If he didn't catch it, he would have. His glove is in his glove. Man, I tell you, if I'm Eddie, I'm like, hey.
Yeah. Just happy someone made the catch.
Happy it didn't hit the wall.
Aldemus Diaz is 0 for 1. 2 down. Grichuk at second. You know, it was in his July 14th start here against the Blue Jays that Eduardo Rodriguez hurt his ankle. He was sailing along into the 6th inning. He had great stuff that day. And then he sprained that ankle on a play at first base, went on the DL and missed the next 6 weeks. Nasty sprain.
Yeah, this is the play at first base. He's covering. He misses it, but he just the worst part of it, forget about not catching that ball. Now you got to get out of the way, and it didn't seem like much, but you see what that turned that ankle big time, huh? Ligaments, the whole thing.
3-0 to count. I remember after the game, Alex Cora in the post-game presser saying it's not good.
Yeah, I thought he was done for the season.
Tonight bidding for his 13th win. Here's the 3-0 pitch to Diaz. Going for it.
3-0 changeup. Perfect spot, too. Not a pitch you want to swing at 3-0.
Yeah, it's probably going to be ball 4.
Oh, yeah.
Got a break there. McGuire on deck. Tom Glavine could do that. He only did it for like 20 years.
He used to live out there.
3-0 changeup for a strike. 3-1 changeup for a strike. On the move, Martinez over near the stands. He's got room, and he makes the play to retire the side. 1 man left in scoring position. Red Sox baseball in Nesson is brought to you by LL Bean. If it's outside, we're all in. Be an outsider. And by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Dennis Eckersley, Dave O'Brien with you from Fenway. 2-1. Sox have the lead in the fourth. That one's scalded by Nunez. That's a wall ball. High off the monster. He's heading into second base, and the throw. He dives in safe. A leadoff double by Eduardo Nunez in the fourth.
Boy, I didn't think it was going to be that close, but he hit it so hard. Now this is a changeup right down the middle, and he just smokes it. He is so aggressive. But you got to be careful first pitch, let alone just softness right down the middle, and he just crushes this ball off the wall. But they see the center fielder gets to this ball. Pilar gets to this ball. Excuse me, not him. Hernandez makes a nice throw to second base, and it's close. Once they get a headlong dive, we've seen a lot of those.
Well, he's coming out of the ball game. Remember, he had that awkward play at first base where he stumbled and fell. And now coming out, and Devers will run for him, and obviously Raphael will stay in the game to play third.
I wasn't watching him run, but I don't know if it was, you saw anything in his run?
I didn't think he looked real comfortable. Yeah. It was a little slower than normal getting to second, probably because of that. Maybe the knee flaring up again. We'll get your report as soon as we can.
Yeah, they saw something right away. I was busy watching the ball off the wall. That's 3/4 of the way up the wall. Yeah, he sort of fell into second base, didn't he? He was done, sort of. Just got in. He's so fast. You know, you think that he's going to get a double easy, but he's not running that good. That was risky going to second, not being able to run like that. That's why he was barely in second.
So coming out, we'll see if that's precautionary or something is flaring up on him. Batter will be Christian Vasquez. He's 0 for 1. And down the tunnel goes Eduardo.
I'm waiting for somebody to juice this guy, huh? I mean, the 4 hits last inning, 1 run. I feel like the score should be 5-1 or something.
I know what you mean. Last inning, 4 hits. Of course, JD Martinez has cracked one out of here, but looking for an explosion of several runs. Fernandez loosening in the bullpen for Toronto. Vasquez, a tough year offensively, but looking to move the runner over. That will not do it. Diaz up and gunning. And Devers has to stay put there at second base, so 1 away.
Tough pitch to hit the other way. Can't help but pull that ball. You know he's trying to hit the ball the other way.
And the manager coming out to make a pitching change, so it's going to be a very quick night for Gaviglio here.
Can't blame him for going and getting him, to be honest with you.
So Fernandez coming on to replace the young right-hander.
We don't have to say his name anymore from here on out. Boy, I'll tell you, that's a tough one for me. That's not that tough a name, but
this can be a dangerous business every once in a while. And you know, for further evidence other than what you and I provide every night, let's take a look. Gaviglio and Erod.
Gaviglio? What's his name? We don't even know his name, although we faced him a couple of times, a right-hander. Gaviglio.
Oh, yeah, that's in the documentary.
No, that should be.
Here we go.
Yes. Yeah, I'm ready.
You got Gaviglio down?
Gaviglio. Get that guy out of here.
Out of the ball game.
Nothing against him.
No.
I mean, just
outstanding future for Sam, but you don't need to do his games anymore.
Those guys are brutal up there. They did that. That's embarrassing.
Put that whole thing together. That took hours.
That's brutal. That's not fair, man.
You're a good sport.
I'll tell you what. I gotta be careful doing those things.
Yeah, because everything's on tape.
I get it. That was bad.
So Fernandez coming out of the bullpen, 1 out, runner at second base for Jackie Bradley, who pops that one foul out of play. Jackie has doubled and scored in this one. It's tough because when they get in your head.
Oh my.
And you're waiting for it, and you're waiting for it, and here it comes. And even if you get it,
I think I should have said it right from the get-go. Tonight, the Red Sox are playing Toronto, and Gavilio is pitching.
Right.
He's a right-hander.
Believe me, I think Sam has heard every pronunciation of his name under the sun.
I bet. But I know Joe Castiglia got it down because he's Italian.
Oh, sure. 0-1. You won't chase it? No, you're a good sport, partner.
Yeah, just like a lamb. You're making fun of the lamb.
I got to be careful. I'm next. Andrew Benintendi on deck. Red Sox trying to take a 3-1 lead in a bid to sweep Toronto. Best the Sox can do tonight is gain a half a game over the Yankees because the Yankees are not playing. Two-one cracked foul. As we take a look at the Indeed player resume, Jackie Bradley, last 34 games at Fenway, he's been cooking here. 345 with 3 home runs and 21 runs batted in.
Boy, he is just a much different hitter here. He just is. He's got confidence galore in Fenway Park, and he should. He changes his act. He stays on the ball longer.
In play to Solarte on to first base, and into third is Devers with 2 gone.
Yeah, Saturday on Dining Playbook, Billy and Jenny are teeing off at Granite Lakes Golf Club and checking out their new extended pergola patio at Crossings 9. Plus, they head to Smith & Walensky to learn how to make a classic old-fashioned using their tin cup whiskey. Catch it all on Dining Playbook Saturday morning at 9 on Nesson, driven by your New England Chevy dealers. I can't even do that. You got me all fouled up, man. You're gonna hoot on me, and
I didn't think it was that bad.
it's all right. I mean,
Gavilio was bad,
but
the
it was in my
pronunciation.
head, man.
Benintendi 290 with 80 runs batted in. Can pick up 81 right here. He's trying to homer for the first time in the month of September.
Yeah, it's been a while, it seems like. All you want is a little flair. You'll take a base hit.
Getting 346 with 2 out and runners in scoring position.
There's that
Shoots
flair.
that one to center, but there's Pilar to put that away, and the Red Sox will strand a man at third base. Top of the fifth, Red Sox leading Toronto here 2-1. And Reese McGuire, the number 9 man, the catcher, to lead things off. Then Gurriel and Solarte against Rodriguez, who has allowed 5 hits, but just the 1 run in the 3rd inning.
You know, he's just spotting it. He's threw 1 ball tonight, 94, but for the most part, he's just, you know, here you go, 91, 92.
We've seen this before with Eduardo. You go back to that Chicago start where his stuff was electrifying, and he was at 97.
Oh, my goodness.
And routinely 95 to 97. He's not been there tonight, but he's had those dips in velocity, and he's come back, you know, start later, and he's back up to 95 again.
But he's so relaxed. This guy has always, it's never been a problem with him. He just has that demeanor, doesn't he? Very unaffected. I mean, he's not high strung, and he's not trying to go jump on anything. See you later.
In there for strike 3. That was 93 to fan McGuire, 1 away.
I don't know what McGuire's looking for, but that ball's right there. Got nothing to squawk about. You just take it on in. Pair of shoes.
4th K in the book for Eduardo, and 1 away in the 5th. Gurriel is struck out looking, and he's also ripped a single. Well, tomorrow night against the Mets, Hector Velasquez goes in at 7-2 as he gets the start against Noah Syndergaard, who's 11-3 at 3.44 ERA. Rick Porcello pitching on Saturday at 4.05. And then Chris Sale against Jacob deGrom on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Sale projected to go 3 innings. deGrom just might be the man to beat for the Cy Young in the National League.
How about 8 and 9 with a what, a 1.7? What has he got? A 1.7, 1.6? What?
1.71 ERA.
That is unbelievable, isn't it? To win, imagine if he wins the Cy Young with what, 8 or 9 wins? Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's a little bit mindful of King Felix a few years ago with Seattle.
I think he was 13 and 12, if I recall.
But every time this guy goes out, he pitches a gem. They just don't win the games. Talking about the Mets.
Yeah, it's historic, his run support.
Broken bat for Gurriel.
He cut his moss, and then they don't score runs for him because they didn't lose his gas. This guy is, watch him pitch. It's fun to watch. Well, unless
you're on the other side, right?
Yeah.
But it's also Chris Sale up against him.
That would have been great if Sale was doing his thing, you know, for 7 or 8 innings. We just want him to be healthy and get to the promised land.
0-2. Right past him. He struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Rodriguez. For 4 generations, KM has been locally crafting quality Franks for all you Sox fans. Pick up KM Fenway Franks at your grocer today. KM, together we grill. Yeah, deGrom number 2 in the National League in innings pitched. 5 more and he gets to 200. He's behind Scherzer. And he leads the National League with a 1.71 ERA. It leads baseball, in fact.
I mean, it's him and Scherzer, I would assume.
Scherzer's got 17 wins.
It's like 9 more wins than he's got.
How about that? Yeah.
He's got strikeouts too, deGrom.
He is. He's right behind Scherzer. Well, he's about 40 behind him, but he's in second place. Popped up in Kinsler. An easy play. 1, 2, 3. They go. Time now to turn it over to Adam and Casey for the mid-fifth studio show. And it'll be Kinsler, Moreland, Martinez against Fernandez. After the Red Sox knock Gaviglio, the starter, out of the ball game. Red Sox trying to improve to 101-46. They're looking for their 4th consecutive win. Kinsler's helped out with a sacrifice fly to plate a man in the 3rd inning that drove in Jackie Bradley. Check to swing and a foul ball for strike 1. Mookie Betts with a night off. He'll be back in against the Mets on Friday. Fly ball short. Grichuk in, and that's the first out in the inning.
Yeah, Red Sox season ticket plans for 2019 will be going on sale now. New plans will include access to potential 2018 postseason games. For more info, go to redsox.com/season tickets or call 877-RED-SOX-9.
A man down for Moreland. A single and a strikeout from Mitch tonight. 1 for 2. JD Martinez is on deck. JD is halfway to the cycle tonight with a home run and a single.
Fernandez has got a fastball 94. You see that cutter 89, and he's got a slider.
Looked to hold up, and he did. 1-1. JD now at 122 runs batted in. That home run pace for Martinez had slowed a little bit, but it's picking up again. He had one on Sunday against Houston, another one tonight.
Got that home run off Keuchel. 3-run job. That was a big hit in that game.
The Astros have off tonight. Bounding ball that'll make it to the outfield. Solarte throws off balance to get him. 2 gone. Time now for our high strength steel play, brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers and a Chevy Silverado.
Well, JD gets a slider down and away, and he deposits it into the Red Sox bullpen, almost over the bullpen. Hug again as usual.
Now Gibbons is out. He's going to bring Leiter in now, the right-hander. So a different scouting report now for JD Martinez to go over. Fernandez went an inning and a third. And he is done for the night. Red Sox head 2-1. They've out hit Toronto 6-5 to this point.
It's amazing how these hitters can figure out, you know, I know they've got all the information more than they ever did, but still, you know, one after another, especially this time of the season, you haven't seen these guys.
And yet, as you know, there are reams of things to look at.
Yes.
All sorts of information.
There's nothing better than having faced a guy, period. I don't care what you're looking at, all this stuff. You got to see it come out of his hand at the plate.
You can find out tendencies like with 2 strikes, what does he go to?
Now I started to think when I first came up as a rookie, you know, and I was good my rookie season, and in the second year they saw me a little bit and was a little tougher to get guys out that first time around the next year.
Yeah, because you started with a bang.
Yeah, but what if they would have had that stuff then? They might have stroked me. Maybe I never would have had that first good year because I was deceptive. You got to see me a few times. Then next thing you know, I never faced a right-handed hitter. They threw every left-hander they ever had.
Like overnight?
Well, it took him about a year or so, but because not everybody had these well-rounded lineups to begin with. A lot of clubs were one way or the other, you know.
Well, Leiter ready to go to take on JD Martinez. A home run and a single tonight for the MVP candidate. Mookie's still working that iPad even though he's out of the lineup tonight.
Got nothing else to do.
Two down, and he'll look at a strike.
This is Al Leiter's brother's son, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Al Leiter, who is a really good left-hander.
Oh, yeah. And his brother was good. Mark. I remember him with Detroit.
Al was and is a true left-hander in every sense of that.
What are you saying? He likes to chirp a little bit.
Oh, he does. He's
great on TV.
Fine communicator.
Well, he's great on TV. He really is. I love talking to him. A lot of information. He's got a great personality. Loves to have fun.
He sure does. Cut on, and did he miss it entirely? He did. And so down he goes, strike three. That'll be it. Red Sox up 2-1 at the end of 5. Top of the 6th coming up here. Smoke, Morales, and Grichuk, the batters against Eduardo Rodriguez, who has a 2-1 lead. And Smoke is driven in at 1 run with a 3rd inning single.
This guy's been scary against the Red Sox this year. Both sides of the plate.
Yeah, I mentioned that he's homered in every series against the Sox except for this one. Played for Katuitt and was named the top prospect in the Cape League in 2006. So he has a New England connection.
He was the starting first baseman in the All-Star game last year. Had a career year last year.
Sure did. Got an update on Eduardo Nunez right knee soreness for Eduardo. Reason he had to come out of the ball game.
And it had to be on the play first base, huh?
Yeah.
That awkward hiccup, whatever it was.
And he was feeling it on the double.
Yeah. Didn't stop him going for 2 though, huh?
Well, he got there with the dive. And chop foul at the plate.
I don't know how to explain this. It's a double play ball. They should have turned it. Solardi, bad throw. Smoke gets off the bag, and then he changes his mind or something and gets caught up. And then the double, he hit a changeup off the wall. Rocket. Look at that. Way up off the wall. Hernandez makes a nice throw to second, but he gets in. Barely.
Ooh. And for Eduardo, it was that right knee that bothered him last year. I remember he started game 1 of the division series at Houston and
just
came out.
Crumbled.
Yeah, after he injured that knee running out of ground ball. And Brazier getting going inside the bullpen. And a 2-2 to Smoke. Oakland's trying to come back on Baltimore now. 4-2 Orioles there in the 5th inning.
Stop the presses, huh?
Yeah. Orioles with 104 defeats. That's in there, strike 3.
Thank you.
Boy, he had flipped the bat away. He was about to take first base. He's going to bark at Chris Siegel.
Oh, I don't blame him. This is a backdoor cutter that doesn't break enough. This ball's outside. Looks good. Well, I got to have it, but that doesn't mean it's a strike.
It's his 6th K for Eduardo Rodriguez. That'll send up Kendrys Morales, a double and a ground out to short tonight. Red Sox up 2-1. Morales was a star in Cuba before coming to the United States, and throughout his career he's been a big RBI guy. Not so much this year, only 57 of them.
Still got another year left on his contract.
And he's driven in over 100 runs a couple of times. He did it with the Angels. He also did it with Kansas City.
Eddie changing speeds a lot tonight.
One two coming. Line drive that'll hang up. Benintendi grabs it. 2 up and 2 down. After the game, stay tuned for Red Sox Final, presented by Rodenizer Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electric, with TC, Johnny, and Steve. And in the pregame, they talked about Xander Bogaerts is hot entering the game. Jan Hervis Solarte is cold, and here's how they're doing so far tonight. We talked about it as we came on the air tonight that Eduardo Rodriguez's 2 longest outings all season have been against Toronto. And typically he's going to be around 5 1/3, 5 2/3. Well, 6 2/3 twice against the Blue Jays. Now trying to get through 6 innings ahead. Facing Grichuk, who singled and whiffed tonight.
I mean, this is 2 different pitchers completely. You saw him in Chicago. He was Gas Masterson, wasn't he? That ball was, he was bringing it. No chance. Punched out what? 10 out of the first 12 guys. And tonight he is pitching in and out, changing speeds. I like this guy too. So, he can do it all. He's got to find, to a nice mix.
We talk about, come October, where's he going to fit? Right now he fits in a rotation.
Right. The way he's pitching. When I see that gas like he had that against Chicago, you're thinking that plays everywhere. That plays big time right there. Hi, cheese.
It's Grichuk for the 2nd time, and he mows him down 1, 2, 3 in the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2-1. Sox have the lead here on Toronto. Xander Bogaerts is 1 for 2 with a base hit tonight. And Leiter working into his second frame out of the bullpen. Xander had a really fine series against Houston. He and Mookie Betts in particular. Xander went 8 for 12 with 2 home runs. He drove in 4. He's really caught fire his last 29 games, hitting .343 and driven in 25 runs in that span.
He's been in that cleanup spot for quite a while. Not tonight, obviously. He's batting 5th, but he's in that RBI slot. Not all year long, though.
2-2. Blake Swihart next.
It's hard to get RBIs when Martinez takes them all hitting in front of you.
Yeah, he's taking 122 of them.
Hello.
Two home.
Leiter features everything. Doesn't throw real hard, but cutter, slider, curveball, changeup, splitter, or you name it. See him shove that splitter in his hand right there in his fingers.
Pitching certainly in the Leiter family.
Well, Al had that cutter, that hard cutter, left-handed cutter.
Al threw hard too.
Yes, he did. Threw a no-no when he's with Miami.
He did. I called it.
Did you?
Yeah. With the Marlins, 2-2. And he struck him out. Xander Bogaerts down hacking. 1 gone. Time now for Built for Baseball, presented by T-Mobile.
I'll tell you what we saw tonight. You see from Erod, you see a slider. He took something off, swing and miss, Gritchett, then high cheese. And we saw really a finesse pitcher tonight. Erod, which was nice to see. You know, a well-rounded pitcher. He's not all about gas. And tonight was special. Didn't walk anybody.
Eduardo Rodriguez pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 7 strikeouts, no walks, only 5 hits.
Man, he had it going on tonight. He was moving it everywhere. Nice and easy, just like playing catch.
He was crafty tonight.
Yeah, wasn't he?
Blake Swihart with a walk. He's also hit into a fielder's choice, 0 for 1. At least to this point, for the 2nd straight night, very low scoring affair. Sox winning last night 1-0.
Man, he featured a little curve, a little this, a little that.
And he goes after it, comes up empty for strike 3. So Blake Swihart fans, 2 up and 2 down. And now Rafael Devers will bat for the first time tonight after he came on for Nunez. Eduardo Nunez coming up with a sore knee.
Or these last 2 nights, 1-0, 2-1.
Rafael, the man who scored the game's only run on a wild pitch last night. He's trying to snap an 0 for 10.
Just trying to be patient, lay off the high fastball, and then they start throwing breaking balls. There's that high fastball.
Vasquez would hit next, but the bases are empty, 2 down. A little while ago we were talking about David Wright, the fine third baseman for the Mets, who has announced that he's going to retire at the end of this season. He's going to hang him up. Joe Mauer, the great star of the Minnesota Twins, is considering retirement. There's a shot down the line. He laid into this one into the corner. It's gone. Rafael Devers smokes one out of here, and the Red Sox lead it 3-1.
Boy, that's got to feel great for Devers. He cleans out that cutter is what he does. Laid off the high fastball and threw him a couple breaking balls down, and he gets a cutter that he is just going to clean right out of there. I don't know how he kept this thing fair. Got to get your hands inside of it just a little, but he yanks that ball down the line. You can look at that thing because it's going to be a dinger when it's done. Good for him.
Number 17. Second one for the Red Sox tonight. JD Martinez at number 41 in the second. And the Red Sox open it up to 3-1. 2-out, 6th inning home run for the youngster. Vasquez 0 for 2. A couple of ground ball outs tonight. Jackie Bradley on deck. Here's the 1-1 from Leiter.
Yeah, tomorrow at 6:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. TC Stephen Wake will preview the series against the New York Mets. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Here they come.
Could be a tough weekend for this couple, with the Mets coming in, or a lot of fun. The Mets started out so well. Didn't they go 11-1?
Yeah, they did out of the gate. They're a major disappointment. You know, you see the kind of arms they have. Syndergaard, DeGrom, and then Wheeler's throwing the ball good for them too. That's 3 starters right there. Matz hasn't had that good a year for them, but they've been about their rotation.
Line shot, base hit to the left. Vasquez aboard here with 2 down. And out comes the manager again. He's been wearing out a path there tonight. It'll be Meza, who has been warming for some time. So they're going to bring their 3rd reliever into the ball game. With the Sox in front 3-1, let's toss it downstairs to Jemai.
Thank you very much, Dave. Well, last night Stephen Wright came on for his 4th scoreless appearance since coming off the disabled list on September the 1st, and he had to bear down to get out of there scoreless after giving up a leadoff double and then a subsequent walk, but he got through it. I caught up with him and pitching coach Dana Levangie, who talked about how things have been going so far.
Stephen Wright, what he's done since he's come back, we're going to have to see how we can rebound back-to-back outings and see how he deals with that. So far, so good on how he's going about it. Pitched a real stressful inning last night, real stressful situation, and he got through it, so more options the better.
Obviously, it sucks when you give up a double, then you walk a guy, you know, but when you have a base open, I didn't want to give in. I'm not going to get beat on my fastball. I know my knuckleball was a little erratic at first, and I just knew that I had to bear down and try to get, you know, a ground ball. You know, I was thinking ground ball right there, try to pound the zone, and then it was nice getting that, you know, they're getting the strikeout, and then, you know, Brock made a great play on the second guy to get the lead out, because then it gave us an opportunity to get an out at any base. You know, it's one of those things, like, with the knuckleball, I mean, you can get yourself in a lot of stuff and you can get out a lot of stuff because it's such an erratic pitch. And tonight, you know, was an example of that.
Hitters are batting .214 against Wright. His knuckleball could prove the difference in the postseason. Alex Cora has said as much. They'll look for him to continue the way that he's been ongoing so far, Obi.
Really could, and I think, you know, he's a guy who could wind up having a big impact. He can get it back so quickly. You know, he talked about it was a little erratic, but he gets it back fast.
I know. You just have to sometimes. I think Cora said, look away, or you know what I mean?
For a moment.
For a moment.
And
you know, because it didn't start off very good last night, but he got it done.
He got out of it, and the Red Sox went on to win the ball game 1-0. Could be a very, very important man. Jackie Bradley with a double and a ground out, runner at first base, and 2 down, a run in on the shot by Devers. Brazier up in the pen again.
Boy, it seems like we've seen Brazier a lot.
Runner takes off. Here's the throw down, the tag, and it's dropped, and he's safe at second base. So a stolen base for Christian Vasquez.
Oh, how about sneaky man? What is that, huh? Got a big jump off the left-hander. Not really paying attention to him, but how about that? He looks like a speedster coming in there, especially with number 7. It's Trot Nixon's flying into second base.
That's his 3rd stolen base of the year.
Don't hurt yourself.
So Christian down to second base, and a 2-0 now to Jackie Bradley from Mesa.
I had to give a double take. Like what's he doing? You know,
every once in a while he can sneak in there like that.
But like you think a guy's fast with number 7, don't you?
It's a fast number.
It's a fast number. And I said, who is that? That's Vasquez.
A base hit could bring him in here. Red Sox had 3-1. Looking for the sweep of Toronto. 2-2.
This guy fastball slider. He left that one up there. Almost hung it too much.
Bottom third of the order doing good work for the Red Sox tonight. Nunez doubled out of the 7th spot. Devers is homered out of that spot. Vasquez with a base hit and a theft. Jackie Bradley has a double tonight as the 9-hitter, and he scored a run.
Isn't that how he hurt his hand to begin with? Vasquez on a dive to second base.
Exactly
if I
right.
recall.
It was the first time he was wearing the oven mitt too.
Right.
He's decided to stick with it, but that was bizarre. That's supposed to protect you from having that kind of injury. He's on that pinky finger. Oh, now they got him picked, and the throw won't be made as he dives in.
He's just giving him a look, but then when he looked, he said, "Oh my goodness." And I got this guy 3-2. I'm never even looking at the guy at second. I'm worried about the hitter.
Payoff pitch. And down he goes swinging. Red Sox will leave one, but get one on a blast by Devers.
Red Sox, you see Bradley hit that double off the wall. Well, bounce all the way into the infield almost. And Benny moves him over. Ground ball up the middle. This is baseball for you. 101. And then the sac fly there by Kinsler, and they get a run. You don't see that a lot. Red Sox can do it all.
Craftsman, the official tools of the Boston Red Sox, who lead at 3-1 in the 7th inning, and Brazier to make an appearance against Pilar, Hernandez, and Diaz for Toronto. So Eduardo Rodriguez went the first 6. He's in line for the victory. And one of those amazing numbers we've recited several times about Eduardo. He is 24-4 in his career when he goes 6 innings with a 2.29 ERA. 24-4.
Man. Well, when he's good enough, he's good when he goes 6. When he goes deep into a game, normally he's good.
Well, he was very good tonight.
He was a pitcher tonight, is what he was.
Pilar with a fly out and a ground out. Is the 0-2. Liner foul. New York Mets are coming to town. Last interleague series for the Red Sox in the regular season. Red Sox will go in 14-3 against the National League. Hector Velasquez against the right-hander Noah Syndergaard tomorrow night. 3 games against the Mets, an off day, and then the Red Sox will be in New York against the Yankees. And if this score holds up, the Sox are going to have a 10.5 game lead in the American League East.
Magic number will be 6 if they win.
That is dwindling down, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Very quickly. Dave Dombrowski alongside Tony La Russa. The Red Sox bid for number 101 and a fly ball to Martinez. And Pilar is gone for the 3rd time tonight, 1 away. This quality start brought to you by BioFreeze.
Well, let's take a look at Erod's packages, K package. There's some gas for you. Pair of shoes. Fastball right by Smoke. That was the fastball. Then we went to pitching. You see the slider down and in. Fastball right down the middle. Elevated fastball to Gurriel and a backdoor slider that was a gift. He'll take it. High gas. Grits it. Sit down.
BioFreeze, pain relief that works. You came out of a ball game, 6th inning, 7th inning. You were done for the night. What was the first thing you did when you got back to the clubhouse? Did you go right in, take a shower?
No, go right in and get ice.
You get ice?
Yes,
right away?
Right away. Put that little thing on there, a little timer. You don't want to leave it on too long.
No, you don't. But you iced your entire career?
No, not when I was young. I did not that much.
What age were you when you started icing immediately?
I don't know.
Were you like 30?
No, I iced. I don't know. I can't remember. Probably when I started getting old. And old in the game is about 5 or 6 years because the innings started to build up. And I guess I started, after a couple of years. But I did a lot of stuff that I didn't do after that. Early on, I put that hot stuff on. Remember that? I forget what they call it. It was so hot your arm felt like it was on fire.
And it smelled bad.
Oh, yeah.
Terrible.
I mean, you couldn't even feel your arm. It was like a flame.
It was that orange stuff?
Yes.
Like you just throw gobs at it?
Capsulin. What is it called? I forget.
Yeah.
I forget what it was.
But it was awful, huh?
Yeah. But you couldn't feel your arm. It's beautiful. Imagine that. You don't want to feel your arm.
You want to feel your arm after throwing 125 pitches. 2-1 to Hernandez. A high bounding ball. Kinsler from the outfield grass will set him down. 2 away. Enjoy a large or extra large Dunkin' coffee for a chance to win great prizes. No purchase necessary. It ends October 15th or while supplies last. For game piece and official rules, make sure you visit sippeelwin.com. Well, 2 gone for Diaz. He's grounded out, flied out. Only 5 hits for the Blue Jays tonight. And a high fly ball, pretty well hit left center field. Jackie Bradley racing for that. He'll run it down right up against the base of the wall. to retire the side. Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by your local Buick dealer and by Poland Spring Sparkling, real spring water and refreshing bubbles. Take a ride on the tee. And Fenway tonight, Red Sox with a 3-1 lead as we take it to the bottom of the 7th inning. Benintendi, the leadoff man tonight, with Mookie Betts resting. He's gone 0 for 3. Hit the ball hard his last time up. He lined to center. Home runs tonight by J.D. Martinez, number 41, and Rafael Devers, number 17. And the Sox with a little bit of a cushion here. Meanwhile, Bobby Pointer getting going in the bullpen. There's going to be eyes on Bobby every time he makes an appearance. Possibility he could be a left-hander out of the bullpen in October.
Well, he opened some eyes the other day against the Astros. A couple innings, a lot of swings and misses. Not overpowering at all. 90-mile-an-hour fastball, a little changeup, but some deception there somehow.
The changeup has pretty good action on it.
It does.
When he's throwing it well. Kinsler on deck, and then Moreland, top of the order for the Sox. And Meza with a 2-2. Went the other way with that. Gurriel plenty of time. One away. Let's see who is fresh off the farm now. Bobby Pointer in September with the Red Sox, 4 games. 5 innings. It's gone very well. Nellie's Free Range Eggs, proud sponsor of the Red Sox. We love our hens. You will love our eggs. Joe Kelly has joined him. Ian Kinsler has an RBI tonight with a sacrifice fly. He's gone 0 for 2. Solarte with the stop from second base. 2 up, 2 down. Ace Ticket has the best seats to all Red Sox games and concerts at Fenway. Prices and service are better than you can imagine. Visit aceticket.com today. Pearl Jam was just in for a couple of shows. And the great Eddie Vedder was talking about our great friend John Martin as well during the concert.
Can you get us again?
Which everybody loved.
I had a golf tournament the other day for John Martin out in the International.
John, longtime cameraman and a brilliant guy, what he has done in his career, afflicted by ALS. He continues that battle and with great spirit. We always had a blast traveling with John on our Red Sox trips. Right along the line. That's going to be a fair ball. Smoke will take that. And 1, 2, 3 go the Sox here in the 7th.
See the height on this fly ball home run here by J.D. Martinez earlier in this ball game. You see him lift that ball, little slider away from him into the bullpen. How far did it go? 397. That's more than enough. Boy, he gets some lift on the ball.
And it seems to take a second jump too, like a second life with a lot of his home runs. Those ones to right field in particular.
Yeah. Extra jet.
Danny Jansen to hit for McGuire in the 9th spot, and he'll stay in to catch as well for Toronto. We are on to the 8th inning. Sox hit 3-1. Looking for the sweep here tonight. Boy, we've said that an awful lot this season. The Red Sox looking for the sweep. And Pointer into the ball game. And Bobby's been pitching awfully well. 1-0 with a 172 earned run average.
See, that fastball is just so tempting. Everybody thinks they can get to it, and they can't. Time for changeup, isn't it?
1-2, and popped him up. Was on a changeup, and Kinsler makes the grab for the out. We check out what events are coming up at Foxwoods Resort Casino. September 22nd, RBRM hits the stage. October 6th, Modest Mouse. And on November 17th, this caught your eye when we were talking about it earlier, Darryl Hall and John Oates.
So they're making a comeback, huh? Bunch of fossils. That's why I never want to say I like them. Right?
High fly ball deep left field by Gurriel. He jumps on this one into the light standard and out of here. Well, you were talking about his overall talent earlier. The kid can swing the bat. They are very high on him for their future, and that makes it a one-run game.
That fastball's so tempting, and he gets one upstairs, and he's ready. You got to make sure that ball's up out of the zone because it's just not hot enough. You know, you see the cross-seam fastball at the top of the zone, and he kind of cheated on. He looking fastball, got it, and left. And you see the kind of talent this kid's got. He's got some pop. Shortstop with pop. This kid's got a future.
Yeah, they're thinking about him as a future outfielder. He has a very good arm. Solarte, the batter, he's gone 0 for 3, so it's 3-2 in the 8th inning.
The 194th home run there by Toronto. They like to leave the ballpark.
Joe Kelly by himself now in the pen. The 1-0 popped up and playable. Vasquez says he has it. 2 down.
Yeah, Sunday on an all-new Nesson clubhouse. Find out how one of the greatest hitters of all time is training the next generation. D'Angelo Ortiz reveals what it's like to train with his 3-time World Series champ dad on an all-new Nesson clubhouse Sunday morning at 11:30 on Nesson, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts.
We have watched that young man grow up.
He looks like a totally different kid.
A pitching
He's not
change.
a kid anymore.
Not a kid anymore. As Pointer comes out and Kelly coming in. We're going to take the break as well. Joe Kelly on, about to take on Justin Smoke here in a moment in a 1-run game in the 8th inning.
But I get an explosion, and all my power is turned up.
Is Red Sox President and CEO Emeritus, now Chairman of the Jimmy Fund, Larry Lucchino, and Jimmy.
Cancer Awareness Month, and Brock Holt, the Jimmy Fund captain, on hand, and moments after that the Jimmy Fund check was presented. Larry Lucchino involved in that, Brock Holt as well.
Is Red Sox President
and nearly $4.5 million raised this year.
A powerful moment really before the game, wasn't it?
It was terrific. A lot of smiles. Joe Kelly out of the pen now. Tight game once again with Toronto. Smoke has gone 1 for 3. He's always a threat to leave the ballpark with 24 home runs. 2 down. And the base is clean for the Blue Jays.
.2-0 changeup. Nobody wants to throw him a fastball.
That'll be ball 3.
I saw what happened last night with Kimbrel. Threw him a 3-0 curveball. Threw him all curveballs, if I think right.
You know, up in Toronto, he launched on a 3-0 pitch and hit it out of the ballpark to tie up a game in the 9th inning. The Red Sox would eventually win. But he's got the green light.
shook off a whole bunch of pitches. Doesn't know what he wants to do. You don't want to throw him a strike.
And a 3-0 from Kelly. And that's going to be ball 4.
Wow.
And a slider.
I got to have that, especially 3-0.
So Smoke again takes a walk. He's aboard in front of Kendrys Morales.
This pitch is close. This is a slider. Obviously not looking to throw him a fastball. Thought he caught the corner. Couple close pitches.
Looks like Davis is going to run now for Smoke. Jonathan Davis aboard. And the hitter Morales has doubled, grounded out, and lined out tonight. Hit a sinking line drive to left field last time up.
Got Morales up there buggy whipping this thing. You got to pay attention to the runner.
Not going in 98, up and away. Morales just 1 for 9 lifetime against Kelly. Here's the 1-0. Fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, tomorrow at 6, don't miss Red Sox first pitch, presented by Joseph Aboud. Available at Men's Warehouse. TC Steve and Wake will break down Eduardo Rodriguez's start.
Eduardo going 6 strong innings, 5 hits, 1 run, and he struck out 7. He can win it. Line drive, and that's going to fall in right field. Davis to second, stopping there. Well, 2 out. He did not attempt to go to third.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't go to third. He's in between. He thought about it. You got to take it to third, don't you? Fastball there, tailing a little bit away. Caught the end of the bat, but he just got just enough of it over the top of Ian Kinsler. Way out there in right field, shallow right field. Dumps it in over the top of his head, and you see JD, he didn't really challenge that ball like he was going to get in throwing position and throw it to third. He could have made third easy.
He can run. Surprising. That's a break for the Red Sox. Smith Jr. is going to run at first base now for Morales. So they have the tying and go ahead runs aboard, and those are both pinch runners. So hold the phone here in the 8th inning. A home run, a walk, a base hit. Here come the Blue Jays.
This is the guy he struck out Tuesday night on a 3-2 curveball. Follow the race to the postseason on MLB.tv for $25.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB at Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Grichuk's 1 for 3, a base hit and 2 strikeouts, and looks at strike 1 at 100.
Ooh.
The 8th inning. And Kelly trying to get out of it, first and second.
Finally got ahead in the count.
Bounced it up there. Nice stop there by Vasquez.
That's a huge stop.
Well, that's a big league block.
I mean, he doesn't want to hang it. I get it, but that's ridiculous. Look at that thing. That is a perfect block. God, you got to trust your catcher.
One and one on Grichuk. He thought about it and he held. No swing. 2-1.
He laid off all right. The other night he threw him a 3-2 breaking ball. He hit a rope down the line, foul, and then he punched him out on a better curveball.
2 out, 2 on. Here's the 2-1 to Grichuk. And it hits him. Jeez. It did indeed on a change, and that's going to load up the bases.
Not a very pretty outing here for Joe Kelly. Kind of did it all. A walk, a base hit, and a hit batter with a changeup. His control has been very iffy, to say the least.
And just did nip him.
And you got Pilar up here, wants to hack first pitch. You always got to be afraid of that.
He's gone 0 for 3. He's fly to center, grounded out to third, fly to right. But there's no place to put him. Kelly's thrown 11 pitches and only 3 strikes. And you're right about Pilar. He does not want to wait around. He will swing immediately.
Especially with guys on base.
Yep.
He was the guy that Stephen Wright got out. Was a big out last night. Punched him out with guys on first and second, nobody out. He got behind 2-0. There you go.
Foul back out of play here right away. 99. That was nowhere near a strike.
Oh, yeah, not even close.
You really don't have to throw him a strike.
No.
You were talking about last night.
Yeah, first and second, nobody out. He's got. You see that double in the gap by Tellez, that first baseman, rookie. And then ball 4 to Smoke. And then 2-0, he goes to Hackett. And he ends up punching him out. And the ground ball was nicely done. Get the go-ahead run at second base. And then this line drive that Mookie makes routinely.
Here's the 0-1. Right past him at 99. Yeah. And again, not a strike.
Why change lanes?
0-2.
You got to throw him high gas again. I mean, you have to, because you don't know where your curveball's going.
The crowd is up, looking for that big punch out.
Man, it takes so long. He gets all situated. I'd hit that thing and let it fly, man. He creeps into this thing sometimes.
Now Brandon Workman loosening.
Get it.
Davis at third, Smith at second, Grichuk at first. Here's the 1-2 from Kelly. That hit him, and that's going to force in a run.
What's he saying? Swinging. What is that? What's that?
Oh no!
No,
wait
he's
a minute.
not swinging. He asked the umpire at first, did he swing? And he said no.
He definitely hit him to force in a run and tie the ball game. Now the Red Sox want to look at this.
You know, he sort of started his swing, you see, but it got his hand, and there's no swing there.
No question.
Once again, no strikes, 0 strikes here.
So we are knotted up at 3, and the bases are reloaded now for Toronto.
You talk about high gas, all balls, and curveballs in the dirt. It's not pretty.
And here comes the manager, Alex Cora. He's got Workman all loosened up. He's going to go to him. Kelly's shaking his head.
Yeah, I mean,
and
2
he's
outs.
hearing it a bit.
Came in with 2 outs.
In the inning, a home run. That was off a pointer, but then a walk against Kelly, a base hit, a walk, and a hit batsman. And Joe coming out. And Brandon Workman coming in, inheriting a mess.
Yeah, don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC Steve and Johnny Gomes will break down key plays of this game. You'll hear from Eduardo Rodriguez and Alex Cora, who but WB Mason celebrating over 20 years of same-day delivery.
So now Workman has to get out of a mess not of his making. And a freshly tied ball game. The Red Sox had a 3-1 lead coming into this inning, but that's gone. Billy McKinney's going to be the hitter. And Workman on for the 38th time, 4-0 with a 241 earned run average. And he'll bring up a lefty hitter against him. So a highly disappointing inning for the Red Sox bullpen. Three runs on 8 hits for the Red Sox, 3 runs on 7 hits for Toronto, but they've got them all filled up. Smith at third, Grichuk at second, now Pilar at first after getting plunked by the pitch. It's time for a game break, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's Tom Caron. Indeed they are for the weekend. Tom, thank you very much. Right through Sunday. And the Red Sox will be heading for New York City. And their second to last series against the Yankees for the year. Billy McKinney, 329 with 4 home runs. No place to put him with 2 down.
Workman's come in this year with 13 runners. Inherited 5 have scored. He's got 3 hanging out there right now.
Now McKinney with a knack for getting on base. He had a 19-game on base streak to begin his career with the Blue Jays. 0-1.
There's that knuckle curve and the slider, fastball low 90s. A little herky-jerky delivery. And the bags are drunk is what's happening. 2 outs.
Well, it's actually been 2 out for a long time, right?
Oh yeah.
Feels like forever for the Red Sox. Here's the 0-1. Nothing at 2.
Well, he's got him right where he wants him. He threw him a curveball, he fouled it off, and a high fastball up. Can't get there. Hey, trust your catcher to block something.
Well, the crowd wants to see this 8th inning, top of the 8th, come to an end finally. A man at every base, 2 down, the 0-2 to McKinney. Down he goes swinging. That's an outstanding job by Workman. He leaves him loaded. All tied up, 3-3. Big K for Brandon Workman to punch out McKinney and leave the bases drunk. Well, tied up 3-3 as we bring the bottom of the 8th inning at Fenway. JD Martinez leading off. Then Xander Bogaerts and Blake Swihart, the scheduled hitters. This is the right-hander Danny Barnes out of the Toronto bullpen. JD has already cranked a home run and single tonight. He's 2 for 3. Home run is 41st.
Danny Barnes with a low fastball, low 90 fastball, and he loves his changeup. And have a very good year. Well, up and down this year. Minor leagues, big leagues.
And he will walk a batter. Here's the 0-1. Defensively now, several changes for Toronto. McKinney taking over at left. Tellez now at first base, and Jansen stays in to catch. 1-1. And Kimbrel up in the Sox pen. Picked up save number 39 last night. Right now we're tied 3-3.
You wonder if he comes in either way. Ahead or tied.
Toward the middle, but a friendly bounce for Solarte. 1 man gone. Time for the carrying the freight moment now. Brought to you by Old Dominion.
You see the punch out we're going to get here from Workman. McKinney all choked up, fouls off the curveball and gets 2 identical fastballs right upstairs, and he does him a favor and sits down. Bases drunk. Thank thee.
Old Dominion, the official freight carrier of Major League Baseball and the Red Sox. Xander Bogaerts 1 for 3, a base hit. And that was a single back in the 3rd inning. He's had a very nice homestand. Our key matchup presented by Sullivan Tire Complete Auto Service. We're always here to get you there. And on the homestand, Bogaerts batting .425 with 2 home runs. Blake Swihart on deck. The 2-1 from Barnes. Hard hit, base hit. Down the line, maybe more. McKinney giving chase. It's all the way to the wall. Bogaerts to second. He slides in with a double. Hot shot, really hugging the ground past Diaz. And the Sox are in business.
Boy, you think this was AstroTurf the way that ball got down the line. It goes underneath the Diaz's glove at third. It's a fastball. Kind of found the middle of the plate, and he kind of hooked it a little bit right there. Top spin on that ball. He must have crushed this ball. See, Diaz goes down, leans over. Next thing you know, it's off the wall. Double there with 1 out. Winning run at second, 1 out here, bottom of the 8th.
42 doubles for Xander Bogaerts. Swihart now walk. He's in a fielder's choice and he struck out. Quiet night so far. Red Sox have the go-ahead run at second base with 1 down in the 8th. Rafael Devers on deck. And a blooper foul, 1-1.
Boy, good pitch to hit right there. Not a lot of hair on it. 90 right there. A little happy zone. It's inside a little bit, but nice swing.
But it goes. Swung on and missed. Diving into third. Xander Bogaerts. Well, that changes everything now.
Yes, it does.
One out, a fly ball can put the Red Sox in the lead.
Same thing happened last night. Jackie Bradley took third. They on a heads-up play. You know, the relief pitcher, they go to sleep right there. It's not a big. He's off to the races. He's got no chance. He almost hurt himself. Look at this slide. Oh.
1-2. Would not chase it. Looking for a pitch to get up in the air.
You can't let a guy take third on you in this tie game like that.
We talked about it last night. It's one of the big differences between the Red Sox and a lot of other teams. They have several guys who can do that.
Yes.
With a big stolen base. And popped him up. Racing out, second baseman Solarte coming on Grichuk, and he drops it.
I knew it.
Here comes the run. The Red Sox lead it 4-3.
That said, I'm going to have box it on me all. I'm telling you, as soon as he with the infield in like that, that's not an easy play. He never turned around. He kept playing it over his shoulder. It was just waiting. It was just it had boxed me all over this. Look at this thing. He never turns around. He's always got his back to the infield. Then he finally turns around and clanks it. Beautiful thing, huh?
It's an E4.
Oh yeah.
Red Sox have the lead.
I just had a feeling, just the way that he was going back on it. Not an easy play. Finally turns around, clanks it.
Bogart scampering home after stealing third base. Gibbons has seen it before. And the Sox are on top. Been that kind of a season.
Didn't you sense that the way he was going at it? I don't know.
I did.
Had boxed me all over it.
I sensed it. You gave it voice.
I did. I know. I could have swore. So it wasn't routine. You know, it just wasn't.
Well, it rarely is when the infield is in, but that play's got to be made.
Oh, totally.
And boxed is the right way to phrase it. But the Red Sox have been jumping on teams since the season began in March, frankly, when they make mistakes. Fouled away by Devers.
Talk about it leaping. How about that swing? When you go bridge the time before, you think, let's go again.
He did. He cracked one down the right field line. His only plate appearance tonight, the 6th inning.
Look at this swing. Ball's running away from him, but he's trying to go get it and hook it out of here.
Red Sox in the lead 4-3 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Swihart aboard. And foul tipped into the mid.
Well, that's a good change up there. That's what this Barnes is known for. That pitch right there.
Vasquez to hit next. And the 0-2 on the way. Oakland and Baltimore still in a very tight one. That's 4-3 Orioles in the 8th inning. Very important because the A's have pulled within one game in the wild card race of the Yankees, who are idle.
Yeah, we can have a lot to do with putting a hurt on the Yankees and taking away that home field for that wild card. Is what it comes down to.
It could really force them to take a very long couple
flight.
of, to at least one.
Yes.
Maybe more than that.
Long flight.
One out, one on. 2-2. Xander Bogaerts with the one-out double. Then he steals third base before the big error by Solarte on a drop pop-up to bring in the go-ahead run. Runner taken off, and that'll scoot right on by everybody all the way to the backstop. Swihart was already in motion. He's safely down to second.
You couldn't pick a better pitch to go on. I had a feeling sooner or later he's going to go. He picks a 2-2 pitch changeup in the dirt, down and in, and You don't expect anybody to try to block that.
Swihart does get a stolen base on that.
I thought he might go to third on it, but the ball kicked off quick enough.
Number 5 for Blake.
You can steal some bags against Toronto, can't you? Over the years.
And a swing and a miss, strike 3, so 2 gone. Vasquez next. Our game summary is brought to you by Xfinity as Brock Holt will come up to bat. Vasquez has been pulled back. Gaviglio went 3 1/3. Erod went 6 strong innings. Didn't walk anybody. And he struck out 7. The game has been tied since he left. Martinez with home run number 41. And now Brock Holt to bat. Brock coming up as a pinch hitter, which has gone very, very well for him and the Red Sox this season. And it's a short sample, but 2 for 3 against Barnes. Looking to get the Red Sox a little breathing room here, and he'll take ball 1.
Got the loud shoes on. It must have something to do with the children's cancer awareness. Couldn't help but notice.
That's right. Can't help but notice. Polino working in their bullpen. Here's the 1-0. Celebrated on the field before the game. Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And Brock, the Roberto Clemente nominee for the Red Sox. Play on at second. Yep, showing those off before the game. Two down. Here's the 2-0. Four runs on 9 hits for the Red Sox, 3 runs, 7 hits, and a big error for Toronto. He snapped it in there to even up the count. We take a look at the road ahead against the Mets. This player profile brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Brock Holt this season against the National League has been trouble. .393. Of course, that huge home run in Philadelphia off the bench. 2-2. Very patiently taking there. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
What's Mookie doing? Telling him to run? What's he doing?
It's advanced scouting.
Yes.
Swihart off second with 2 down, 3-2, and struck him out to retire the side. Red Sox get a giant run with some help. Now 4-3 as we go to the 9th.
Starting tomorrow, the first place Red Sox take on all of New York. Then on to the world. First, Cy Young candidates face off in the Mets' first series at Fenway since 2009. Then, the greatest rivalry in sports reignites in the Bronx. It's winner takes fall. Mets, Red Sox. The 3-game interleague series begins tomorrow at 5:30. Then, Red Sox Yankees begins Tuesday at noon on NESN.
Hey, now you can fly Southwest for just $69 one way. $69. If you think this sale fare is low, you should see what we charge you for 2-check bags, or overhead bags, or carry-on bags. Which means these $69 one-way sale fares stay $69. And while we don't charge hidden fees, this sale won't last forever. So book your fall travel now at southwest.com. Low fares, no hidden fees, that's transparency.
Now, T-Mobile has unlimited for the rest of us. Unlimited ways to be you. Unlimited ways to share with others. Unlimited ways to live for the moment. All for as low as $30 a line. Unlimited for you, for them, for all. Right now, get unlimited for as low as $30 per line for 4 lines at T-Mobile.
It's Jim from Ace Ticket. You know, for years I've been telling you about the great customer service you get at Ace Ticket, but don't listen to what I say. Listen to what our customers say. Well, it feels great when you read something like this, and this is the service that we're proud of. We know Boston. We've been here for 35 years. We go to the games just like you. We're Boston sports fans just like you, and we're here to give you the tickets you want and the service you deserve.
Apply for a Jordan's Furniture credit card, and you'll be entered into the free ride sweepstakes and have a chance to win a $30,000 gift card toward any Polaris Power sport equipment from Motorcycles of Manchester. 9th inning coming your way. Red Sox up by a run, 4-3. Craig Kimbrell now into the ball game, and Sandy Leon will be his catcher. Craig working last night for his 39th save.
A lot of breaking balls last night. Didn't throw a lot of strikes, but just enough. Punched out a couple guys regardless.
Diaz to lead things off, then Jansen and Gurriel for Toronto. And a high pop up on the first pitch, backing out Xander Bogaerts. In behind him, Benintendi to take it. One man out very quickly here in the 9th.
Boy, the Red Sox got that run back. Bogaerts hit this double. Looked like he hit it off the black tarp anyway, and they stole a run right there. Really, that's what the key to this inning. And then obviously the air by Solarte, infield in, pop up, can't get a handle on it. That's a game winner right there. Barnes is going to get an L if it ends up like this. But Bogey, that was his inning.
Your long-term solution for weight loss and the official weight loss program of the Boston Red Sox. So one out, Jansen the hitter. He's only been up once in this game, and he popped up to second. One out in the 9th. And flared foul out of play, so he's down 2 strikes.
Good luck here.
And the 0-2. First of 3 against the New York Mets tomorrow night. Johnny Gomes will be in the booth for the weekend. It'll be Hector Velasquez against Noah Syndergaard. Struck him out. 97 to Van Jansen, and just like that, 2 away.
Well, Jansen pretty much didn't have a chance. You see the fastball there. He saw everything, and that high gas puts him away.
This year's strikeout hunger campaign is in a home stretch now. Lexus and the Greater Boston Food Bank are nearing almost 200,000 meals delivered. To find out how you can contribute, log on to Nesson.com/Lexus. Gurriel here. He homered last time up. Started him out with that nasty curveball for strike 1.
Goes down on one knee here. This is breaking ball going sideways a little bit. Perfect spot. Oh, that's nicely done. How do you want to finish him off? Take your choice. Gas him.
The 0-2. Popped him up into right. Martinez there. And the Red Sox have swept another opponent for the 15th time here in 2018. The 40th save now for Craig Kimbrell. He made it very easy in the ninth inning.